right, so now you have your data table. Now we need to turn this into a graph. Okay, so where I would start is I'd go back to that sheet that you just made. Okay, I left mine untitled, so I'm going to title it. I don't know, we'll do sunscreen because I'm testing sunscreen in my example. Which one is the most effective? Okay, so now that you're in this Excel or Excel spreadsheet, it's also called Sheets for Google, you need to make a graph. Now, the beautiful thing about Google is that it does most of the graphing for you. You just got to make sure there's not a bunch of words in cells. You can't combine words and numbers in a cell. So you notice how in this one, the words are only in that one cell. You can't like type them in any other box. Okay. Maybe that's really confusing, but basically just make sure numbers are in one box, words are in another. You'll be fine. Okay. So next, to get this into a graph, I'm going to highlight let's try highlighting it all. If it doesn't work, we can retry. And then you're going to go up to the toolbar and find what looks like the graph symbol. If you hover over them, it will tell you what they are used for. So you want to find the one that says Insert Chart. It should be to the right of all of the fonts and centering and all that good stuff. And we're just going to hit that button. Sometimes it takes a second. It's thinking. Okay. So up popped a graph. Okay. Now here, this data table is not a percentage. It's 3 out of 10 people use Neutrogena sunscreen. 6 out of 10 people use Banana Boat. And 10 out of 10 people, because we had to have a control group, had 0 sunscreen. So I don't like a pie chart for this. It's not a percent. It converted it to one. I don't know. You can keep it at that. For this example, but I would argue for the example you're doing for your lab, a pie chart's not going to work. So let's just switch it to a bar graph. It's easier. And now a couple things to note. We can keep the title. That works just fine. It added our titles down below. But notice the title on the side. The title on the side says how many people reported sunburn. I'm just going to change that to number of people. Okay, so in this little side editor right here is where you're going to have all of your options to make this chart beautiful. So it says chart style. Okay, so you can change the background color, make it look all real fancy. Okay, you can choose a theme to the font if you want. The chart axis and title right here is where you're going to change all of the headings. So down below, I'll put the title sunscreen. Okay. Again, you can change all the font and all the fun things about that. The series is talking about the number code up the side and the actual bars. I do not like that. Not a fan. Ooh, let's do Vikings color. I'm actually a Broncos fan, but Vikings colors work just fine. Legend, you can choose to have one or not. This one does not need one. Okay, so you can play around in the chart editor to make sure your chart looks beautiful. This works just fine. If I had to be nitpicky, I would say that sunscreen on the bottom would look better bolded. I'm going to change it to vertical axis title because that's on the side right here, and I'm going to bold that. I would say that looks better. And then I'm going to change the actual chart title, and we'll bold that. So I'd say that looks probably the best. So once you're done, you're going to grab that graph, copy, so Control C, and then once again, you're going to go back over into your PowerPoint, Control V, and paste the graph. And it lied, did not do it. So we'll try it again. Control V, or C to copy, Control V to paste. Ha-ha! Worked this time. Okay. That is how you make a graph. And it's so pretty. All right. So once again, use that Sheets. Make sure you play around. You make sure you adjust all of your titles on the side, titles on the bottom, title up top. All right. Thank you.